I want to thank you for taking the time to come this far. And I understand and value your time. And I am confident the moment or the amount of time you're going to spend here will be quite valuable and it will reward you quite handsomely. So before you take off and check your email where you will find a link to start this program or to have access to that one-day free pass, I want to extend a special opportunity which covers a VIP session that I've put together. And this VIP session is for purpose because I cannot provide same attention to each and every one of them. Normally, these free sessions tend to have a lot of people coming in. So I cannot be present in providing the level of customer service or attention to each and every person who comes on a free service. But for those who are willing or inspired to experience this journey completely different and have a little bit more tools and resources in order to speed up the process that will afford them the opportunity to increase the calmness, to thrive through the challenges, especially the results that we hear each and every single day. For that person like you, I believe, I have put this VIP session that gives you access in addition to the one-day seminar. And these accesses including several bonus stuff, but most important, the one-on-one Q&A that you will have an opportunity to ask questions specific, tailored to your situation. And if you want to be private, there's ways where you provide me that question, and then I will be able to discuss the question without mentioning the person so that I keep your information private. And then not only that, you're going to have a Q&A session, you will get a copy of my new book, which have inspired this summit. And the book is called Thrive Beyond the Results. How to build calmness, to be able to strive through each and every circumstances, no matter what it is. Because calmness, clarity are important in order for you to gain momentum forward. When you are not calm, when there's no clarity, your decision there is ambiguity. Your decision is not as strong as it should be. It's not as clear as it should be. You don't see things the way they should be seen. And therefore, you always find yourself in a situation where you don't want to be. But in that book, there's a lot of germs, a lot of material, a lot of resources. And it is designed to make it simple to read. Not only that it's simple, but you can take the information and apply it and measure the result as you go along. So the book will be an additional resources and a very powerful one for you to have in order to journey in this process if you are serious about experience life different than how you have experienced before. I am confident that anyone who takes that book and apply the resources and the tools that have been given in there, they will be in a position to experience life different than they've ever been experienced before. In addition to that book, which is about $21 value, the Q&A is about $97 value, you're going to have a 5-day summit. So instead of a 1 day, now you'll have 5 days. And I will break it down for you a little bit more so you can have an idea what those 5 days encompasses or what includes. And this is about $297 value. And then you're going to have an extension session, meaning that there's going to be replays. So not just because you took the daily program, you can replay it for future reference. And you'll have access for those replay for as long as 1 year. What a powerful resource for a reference purpose. Today, no matter what is going on in my life, often I find myself going back and listen or read that book and be able to apply the things because it's easier to forget. It's easier to skew things. But I always use these resources, the same resources that I shared in the book and you will learn in this 5-day summit. I also usually look at as a reference point and I'm like, wow. And every time, even though I have written them, even though I've create an audio and video recording of some of this material. Yet every time I go and revisit, a new enlightenment, a new inspiration, a new perspective comes to mind. So it's very, very important, and it's not something should be taken lightly, especially if you aspire to bring about changes in your life in a most efficient and meaningful manner. In addition to that, you're going to have a bonus workbook. This bonus workbook is about $30 value, but you will have it in addition to the book because there's going to be a reflection moment, exercise moment. All of those are very, very useful when you have this workbook. A one-day summit does not give you any of that. And then lastly, you're going to have a bonus video, a webinar that I did. It's about confidence builder. This is very powerful because a lot of people, the reason they cannot start the process of changing is because they do not have confidence in themselves. And it was amazing that some of the people that I met who were seeking that particular help, I couldn't even, some of them I'm like, wow, I looked at you always differently because you always look like you're put together. But when they are willing to open up, become vulnerable, because often in these sessions, what I've done, I'm always vulnerable. I share my struggles, I share my challenges, and how do I go about building up on it. And people start opening up for their own situations. And sometimes you wonder, wow, I couldn't have not thought of that. So the confidence builder is a powerful tool in adding, or an arsenal adding to the 5-day along with the book. I would definitely do not settle just for those things. After all, it's a bonus one. You're going to get it for free. And this is about $197 value. I've sold it before for higher than that, but lately I had dropped the price to $197. All of these things amount to $673. But guess what? You do not need to pay $673, and I'm not going to charge that for that. You're only going to pay $97, less than $100. Less than $100, an opportunity to actually change your life in the most meaningful and practical manner you can ever. Not only that, you have that opportunity, it's a 30-day guarantee. Meaning that if you're not going to see the results within 30 days, meaning it's not that things will change overnight, but when you're not seeing progress and you have applied yourself and you can show me and say, Alpha, here is how you gave me this roadmap and I have applied the roadmap and I'm not seeing any progress in my life. Guess what? You get your money back. No questions asked. That's a 30-day money back guarantee promise. Because if you cannot change your life, why will I keep your money? It makes no sense at all. The whole idea, but you have to apply it. You cannot take the material and go and sit and keep binge watching movies and not applying yourself. This is about transformation. I don't take great pride on people paying for the service. I take great pride for people applying the information they paid for, because the transformation happens. I'm not in this business of selling things or selling product and services. I'm in the business of helping people transforming their lives. So my joy does not come from the sale itself, but from a transformation that follows as a result of a person purchasing something that I created. Because it tells me that which I'm teaching or I'm sharing is not only working for me or the few, but it works for everyone who is willing to apply themselves. I know that to be the case, but guess what? When I hear the news, when I see some feedback, it gives me a joy to not only know, but to confirm that which I know. If I tell you today you have $200 million in your bank account, it's a great statement, but it will make you feel even better if you step into your bank account and see that you have over $200 million in your bank account. So that's really what it's all about. So let's talk about what you're going to experience or expect in these 5 days. And the program is designed, you cannot just come and walk around and watch one like one module and then jump into another, maybe the fourth, the fifth. You can just randomly go around. It is designed specifically to build you up in each and every step. It's very, very important. So you cannot, when you start the first one, you cannot go and jump into the fourth. The program is designed, it will squeeze you to stay on the first until you are complete. Then you will have access to the second. You can review the first anytime, and then you go to the third and you can review the first and the second anytime, and then you will go to the fourth and you can review the first, the second, and the third anytime. And then when you go to the fifth, then also you can review the other ones anytime. And now at that moment you have access to all five. But it's designed specifically to build you up to a point where after the fifth day, you are completely in control. You started the journey of completely being in control of your life. So the first day, it's the awakening, understanding the power of perspective. Perspective is the most powerful tool that we as human beings must be able to utilize it. Unfortunately, too often, many people don't know how to do that. And therefore, they find in a place where they cannot come out. I have been there. I've been in a place where I would not send even my worst enemy if I have one. But because I did not know about the power of perspective. And this is the power the ancients, the gurus, and everybody else have termed it to be awakening moment. But this is just a moment of perspective. But you have to learn how to turn your perspective. And in the first day, you will have the opportunity to learn that. And I'll give you the tools and resources that will afford you that ability in the most efficient manner possible. And then in day 2, after you have done that, you'll have a reflection moment, you'll have exercise to do. And all I'm asking is about an hour a day. Hour a day for 5 days, which is 5 hours. It's not a lot. You spend time and watch TV. You spend way more time in social media scrolling. Why not invest in yourself so you can transform your life and enjoy yourself? So even when you're scrolling, guess what? You're scrolling not with a smile because somebody made you happy or made a joke that made you break into a laugh. You're smiling because you know you're doing extremely well. And that time you're scrolling is the time you deserve. The second day, you're going to learn the art of idealization, envisioning the life you desire to have. More people in this world today are having difficulty believing that they deserve something good. The other day, I was at the store and I was talking to the salesperson. And when we were having a conversation, she brought up an idea, what she spent on summertime with her husband during the fireworks. And she said it was very fun and everything else. She wished that would have been something that happens every year. And I told her, I said, it's possible if that's what you want. She's like, yeah, that's what I want, but it is impossible for me. And I said, why would you make you think that it's impossible for you? And she gave me a laundry list of reasons why it is impossible for her. She could not see past any of those reasons that she deserved to have it, and she should have it. So the process of idealization is help a person like her to be able to help that person and guide them through the process of feeling that they deserve. Bring that understanding that they too deserve a good life, no matter what circumstances, no matter how bad things have been for them. And then on day 3, we're going to move from, because you will know how to idealize. And at the end of that lesson, you will be guided through a particular area in your life that you want to idealize. And then we take that point, we move it to the next phase. That's why I said there are step by step. Every day you're adding to something in order to build the last thing you're supposed to build, which is the quality of life you deserve to have. So the third day, you're going to learn the power of introduction. And this is, you are learning how to rewire. Science informs us that our mind is not constant, is not fixed. Our mind is flexible. In fact, it is elasticity, in a sense that the informations we consume rewire our brain and afford us the capacity to be able to behave consistent with those information. When those information are improved or changed, so our behavior as well as changes. So you're going to learn how to do that both in a more scientific way and a scientific method that has been put in this book. You will learn how to do that to transfer your life in such manner so that you can benefit from that which you are seeking to enjoy in your life. That which you've idealized on a second day will bring it and take it through the process of introduction so you can see how your life actually changed real time. And on day 4, we're going to take that which you have introduced and you're going to learn the power of iteration. Very powerful tool. And there you're going to learn the consistent practice of greatness. Greatness does not come because the person was born or have a particular DNA or because they have a particular connection. There are many people who have some significant connection and yet they are not where they're supposed to be. Just recently, I was watching the news about a tragedy that happened in New York. A young guy who decided to kill and shot the CEO. When you look at the story, the young guy was not even could not have been suspected to conduct such an act. He comes from a very influential family, have studied very well, so he's well educated. But who knows what was going on, and that person failed, caused a tragedy on another family, but even worse, a tragedy on himself. He shouldn't have to experience that, but because he doesn't have this particular knowledge, as many that I have met who are suffering because they don't have the understanding. It's not like people love misery, it's because they don't know how to solve the problems they have. I read another story of another gentleman, very influential gentleman in the state of Minnesota. Have been doing deals for years, have lived a very luxurious life of great opulence. But in his late days, he ran into some financial troubles. And he had survived so many things in the past, but suddenly he didn't have the courage, neither the capacity to endure and thrive through that one. So one late night, one somber night, he took a gun, shot his wife and himself. And he's very wealthy, living in a very opulent neighborhood, a very opulent house. But tragedy struck because he didn't have the tools. He survived. He grew his wealth through survival. And he survived and survived and survived until he didn't have any more survival in him. We're told the cat has 7 lives. So if the cat is endure that the near-death experience, the first, the sixth, the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth is gone. At some point, if you're living in a survival mode, it will run out of you. But in this particular program, you're going to learn to thrive. That's a day 4th, where you're going to learn the power of iteration, the power of greatness. And lastly, on the day 5th, we're going to talk about thrive beyond, how you thrive beyond the results. The results are in so many ways. This workshop and the book was inspired based on the results that were expected after the election. And I didn't say when I was writing the book throughout the year, it wasn't based on a particular candidate or not. It was just whatever the candidate was going to win, there was clear indication that people will be hurt. People will feel broken, and people will be afraid. They will be uncomfortable. There will be all these sentiments that are not very good in one side while the other is celebrating. But That's not only the only results we are facing regularly. Your employment record, your peer review, your sales record, your performance record, your credit report, your medical report. All of these are results that are determining our life. The things we hear as a feedback from our colleagues, from the circumstances of our lives, your bank statement is a result of your financial status. The bills, if you can pay them or not, is a result of your consumption. All of these are results, and they are shaping our lives. And this book is designed to help you, as well as this webinar or this summit, to help you strive, not survive. We have to walk away from survival mode. And so many people are living in it. I have been there. Even in the peak of my success those years ago, I was surviving, and it was not pleasant. I learned how to live with it. It didn't mean that it was good. And so therefore you will learn a new thing, how to thrive. So I invite you in this VIP experience. You are worth it. It is time for you to invest on yourself, not on the clothes you wear. Yes, it's a great element to speak of your way of investing in yourself, but that clothes will not add value in your life. It will make you look good. And yes, it might open some doors depending. When you learn these skills, you can use the clothes as a mechanism, as a tool that takes you where you want to go. You can use that car, that house, those luxurious and valuable, precious things that you're spending money on. You can learn how to use them as the vehicle. But today you're using them as a liability. That's why this course, these 5 days, is important for you to take on. Don't just let them pass by. But the choice is yours. Only for those who are serious about transforming their life, because you have to come in, you are expected to do the work. Because changes doesn't come because somebody sprinkled water on you. That is happening in the church. Changes doesn't come because you just decided to fast, or because you tried to cry to God. Changes come because you put the work. But I'm not talking about the work and going and do some work outside. You want to learn the work you need to put. Through those processes, each and every single day, you're going to get the tools that will give you the ability and the capacity to transform your life. That's why I say it's only for serious people, people who are really looking to change their lives. I'm very confident. I'm not joking. I am very confident. If you apply these tools, you're going to see that. You might not probably work out and see that everything have changed overnight, but you can see that you have a peace of mind. There's a calmness in you. There's a clarity. There's a resolve that you can steady follow through. And in that particular process, you can start seeing the tide start changing in your favor. And you start experiencing life much more differently than you have in the past. That is the confidence I have, because I've done it every single day, and I've seen countless of other people experiencing the same way. I don't see that you're different from them. In fact, I am very confident we're all the same. It is just what we're willing to apply. The tools and resources we have determines how far we go. Today, it is a new beginning for you, my friend. A new day, a new life. 2024 is coming to an end. A new chapter begins 2025. Do you want to begin the same way you ended, or you want to begin differently? A different advantage point, a different point of view, so you can start going in a direction that gives you the feeling, oh, it feels good to be relaxed. I look forward. Fill the information, click the link below, and I look forward to see you on the other side.